Good morning, everyone. Okay, so my printer seems to want to do something right now. Okay, all right. Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness, what is happening here now? Okay, sorry about that. My printer wanted to update right in the beginning of this. So I'm just going to cancel all of that for heaven's sake. So good morning, and we're going to have our morning coffee. Got my new CBD mug. CBD is my spirit animal. So this morning we're going to really talk about how to change your reality. And I touched on this a little bit during the law of attraction video that I did, but I find that people are constantly telling you, and just we've been trained this way, right? We constantly say to people, I always have pain, or, I procrastinate, or you say, like I don't have any money, or you just feel like you're always reporting your reality. Good morning, Chris. So we feel like we're reporting our reality when in fact we're creating it. The things that we say are talking about what we want. It's not what's happened, right? When we say these beliefs that we have over and over again, we're not talking about what's happened. We're talking more about what we want. So we're actually doing it backwards. So what you want to do is be very careful about the words that you're using. Those words create your reality. The sound of your voice has a vibration and a frequency, right? The thoughts that you have in your mind are things, and these things have vibration and frequency. And when you state these things that you are talking about in your life and saying that this is my reality, and you're reporting to people, whoever, whether it's somebody that you're going to for help, or your friends or your parents or your family or whatever, and you're talking about, my life is always like this, and my life is always like that, and this kind of stuff always happens to me. And when you're reporting all of that, you're not talking about what's happened. You think you're talking about what's happened, but that's not how energy looks at it. Energy thinks that's what you want. Energy does not sit back and go, what did they really mean by that? And were they talking about something that they like that happened? Or, our energy doesn't have those conversations. Our energy does not have those thoughts. Our energy listens to what we say and then makes it happen. Very much like our subconscious. Our subconscious listens to what we say and what our beliefs are and makes those things happen. For instance, I use this example quite often. When women say things like, oh my God, I'm so fat, I can't lose a pound to save my life. Like things like this. Energy believes, your subconscious believes that at that point that you don't want to lose any weight. It doesn't sit back and go, I think she's saying that because she wants to lose some weight and maybe we should help. Like maybe I should help her. That's not what happens. What we say is what we get. We have a lot of power in our words. We have a lot of power in our beliefs. So by being very careful about the words that you're using, about being very careful about the thoughts that you're having, it's not easy to do, okay? It takes time. It takes time to change your thoughts. It takes time to change your words, all right? Changing your beliefs, those are programs that are playing in your subconscious. Those things take time to change, or you go to someone, like I know how to change people's beliefs really fast. So you go to someone to help you to change those beliefs. But the first thing you need to do is to change the words coming out of your mouth. Talk slower. Be on manual. Think about what you're saying. Is what I'm saying what I want? Is the words coming out of my mouth what I want to happen in my future? So one of my businesses, and I'll give you an example, one of my businesses is a CBD, and I have that very interlocked with my practice. So my clients, generally all of them are taking CBD. So I've just started working on this, and I have uplines that are making all kinds of money. So my thing every morning, every night, I see myself making $50,000 a month. I'm going to do it, right? That is my reality. I don't talk about my bills. I don't talk about, my current situation. I talk about how I want my life to be, right? That's what I talk about. I talk about where I'm going to be as if it's a reality already, as if it's just part of my world. Because I know that energy is listening. All right. I know that my subconscious is listening. I realize that. And because of that, I have to speak to it in a way that says, okay, this is what I want. This is my desire. This is where my life is going. So let's do what needs to be done to get me there. So I talked about this a lot. So I kept saying, I'm going to be making $50,000 a month. I've been chanting it throughout the day. I've been saying it constantly, but I believe it. That's just the difference. I'm not just saying it. I'm not just saying some random words. I know it's going to happen. I know it, right? So energy starts bringing things into your life. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I meet someone who is a holistic marketing company. I've been begging to find a holistic marketing company, right, that can help me do the marketing for my practice, because that's not my thing, right? So, but most of them, they do businesses of different kinds, just your conventional businesses, and they don't know how to deal with holistic companies. So when I talk to a marketing company, they really have no idea about what I'm doing. So they can't help me, and then the information that they give me doesn't make any sense. So what happens? In order for me to achieve my $50,000 a month, which I'm going to, the right people need to fall into my path. Energy knows that I need some help with that. So the right people fall into my path. It's like when we're not feeling well, when we're feeling down on ourselves, when we have low self-worth and we're saying, I just want somebody to help me. I just need some help. I want to feel better. You keep putting that out there. But what we're not noticing is the help that falls in our lap, right? I speak to a lot of people that are in this group, right? In my Facebook group, I message you guys, right? I'm talking to you. Many of you are kind enough to share your stories with me. But the part that you're not seeing is that you've been asking for help, right? And you ended up here, right? So you take the help or you don't take the help. But when we ask for things, they do come. We just have to be observant enough. We have to be open enough to see what's coming. We have to observe. But we're like, like those horses with those blinders on. We're tunnel vision, right? Like we're right here when really we need to take off the blinders and look around, because that opportunity that you're looking for, that thing that you've been asking for, that what you've been putting out there and not even knowing that you've been doing that, could be just right over there. But because you didn't look, you didn't see. It could be right in front of your face, but because you're not looking, you're so wrapped up in your situation that you're not seeing. Right? So we have to pay attention to the signs. We have to pay attention to the things that are in front of us. They're in our path. If you ask for them, they will come. But you have to be observant and see them, or you're going to walk right past them. So that's part of learning how to change your reality. When I talk to my clients, the very first thing I give them for homework is to put themselves on manual. We spend 97% of our lives on autopilot. We're just a human doing. We're just this human doing. We need to be a human being. And that means we need to pay attention to what's going on. We can't just let everything happen in the same way all the time. We put our shoes on the same way. We do the same morning routine. We do the same things all the time. We say the same things to ourselves in the morning, and then we don't do it. We do those same things all the time. We put the same arm in our shirt first. We stick the same leg in our pants first. We do all these things. Good morning, everyone. So this is what we do. So part of being observant is also just taking control of yourself and saying, no, this day I'm going to put this arm in, and this day I'm going to put this arm in, and I'm going to change up my whole routine this morning, and then I'm going to change it again tomorrow, because then your body and your mind start paying attention to what you're doing. I'm going to watch the words coming out of my mouth. I need to create my reality, right? I need to create what I want. And it's not by keeping and talking about what's happened already. Can't change that, right? So thinking about it like you're in a speedboat, right? You're in a speedboat, and you can choose to sit at the back of the boat and talk about the wake. The waves, just talk about that wake. Can't change it, can't do anything about it, right? But you can sure talk about it a lot, right? It's still not going to change anything, right? Or you can sit at the front of the boat and begin steering it. You're steering it with your words. You're steering it with your thoughts. You decide where it's going to go. You're not talking about the past. You're not steering it into the past. You're steering it into the future. So if your life is like that speedboat, sitting down and talking about the wake at the back of the boat is not going to help you move that boat forward to where you want it to go, because your focus is in the wrong direction. So when you're talking about the things that have happened in your life, oh, I don't have enough of this. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, that's never going to happen for me. I'm always this and I'm always that. Believe it or not, those things that you're saying are going to be what you get. They're going to be what you get. So you need to decide before you open your mouth, what is it that you want? What direction do you want that boat to go? Because that's what you're doing. We have been trained as a society to do this thing all ass backwards. We don't even love people the right way. So we do everything backwards. We're talking about what's happened already. We live in the past, right? We talk about the past. We don't talk about what we want. And that's why people spend their whole lives talking about what they're not, what they can't have, what they can't do. And the saddest part of all of that is that one day this life and this body is over. And it doesn't mean that our energy doesn't go on. It just means that this body is done. And when that happens, many people, more than I would even care to imagine, are done in this life without ever knowing the potential and the capacity that they actually do have, and the life that they could have had they just made some adjustments, had they just done the healing work that they needed to do, had they just changed their vocabulary, had they just changed their thoughts, they could have changed their world. But we like to dwell in the past. We like to dwell in our darkness. For some reason, I don't know, but that's a choice. We are not stuck there. Just because that's what we've been doing doesn't mean that that's what we should still keep on doing. Okay, you can change that. You can change everything about your life. You are the driver. You are the driver. Okay? And sometimes the driver needs directions. Sometimes, when you get lost, you got to stop at a gas station and you have to ask directions. It's the same kind of thing. Sometimes you have to get help. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's going to change your life, what is your life worth to you? right? To sit and make these changes, to learn how to do it, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. I compare it to a baby walk, right? You know, when a baby learns how to start walking and it walks a bit and it falls down and the baby takes a few more steps and falls down and takes a few more steps. Imagine if that child, that baby, just got frustrated and said, you know what? I'm just not walking anymore. I just keep falling down. What's the point? Right? Thankfully, babies have not yet learned our, as adults, wrong way of doing things. So the baby gets up and the baby walks again because the baby is still innocent. The baby still doesn't have these bad habits that somehow we have picked up along the way. Right? And we train our children to do. So we need to change our reality. And part of that is changing our verbiage, changing the words coming out of your mouth. Part of that is changing the thoughts. And if you can't do it, ask for help. You know, I keep telling people that they are worth it, not just blowing smoke here. Like, you're worth it. You matter. You're important. You didn't come into this life to suffer. That is a choice. We have so many choices. Everything that we choose is a choice. Everything that happens to us is a choice. We decide everything that's going to happen in our lives. Every single thing. Everything. And we can live in the darkness or we can live in the light. And what I mean by light, okay, let's just get something straight here. Life is not lollipops and rainbows, okay? So when I say step in your light, it's not like, like we're just, everything is going to be all happy all the time. Like, you know, and, you know, there's never going to be any problems, right? No, right? That's not even a reality because it can't happen, okay? You know, we're not living in nirvana. So, you know, it can't happen. But if we get ourselves in the right space, if we can deal with our past, let go of the wake, right? If we can do all of that, either by ourselves or getting help, most of the time you're going to need help because you're too associated with ourselves. So we tend to get in our own way, right? Even I go get help when I need it, right? So if we can get rid of the wake, then guess what? We can change the direction of our lives. We chose to be in the darkness. That didn't just happen to you, all right? Like, give your head a shake. Seriously, that didn't just happen to you. You didn't just happen to fall into that situation. You made some choices and you got yourself there. You know, you need to be real with yourself. You made some choices and you got yourself there. And now you had the power to get yourself there. You have the power to get yourself into a better place. We have so much power. There are very few limits that we have. We have some physical limits. I can't jump off my house and fly, right? That's not going to happen anytime soon. But when it comes to how I can change my reality, I can do that, right? And so can you. I'm not the only one with that kind of like superpower. We all have it. We should all have our own little capes and fly, you know, and just change our lives because we can, right? We can. It's in the choices that we make. We're not going to heaven and we're not going to hell. Heaven and hell are right here on this planet, right here in this life. And it's based upon the decisions that we make in every moment is going to determine whether we are living in heaven or whether we are living in hell. So there's no victims here. We chose. Do sometimes things happen? Sure. You walk down some alleyway, you got raped. That was not a choice. Maybe you shouldn't have walked down the alleyway, but you know, someone could break into your apartment These kind of things, there is a piece of our lives that is out of control, out of our control, because someone else made a choice. All right. But for the most part, let me say like 97% of your life, you are in control. You are the driver of the car. You are making the decisions that is creating your reality. That's a fact. You know, you can't blame anyone else. It's like I said, you know, in the video the other day, you know, you point your finger at someone else, there's 3 more pointing right back at you. You make those decisions, nobody else. And that was, like I've said before, the biggest pill I ever had to swallow in my own healing journey. That all the pain that I was feeling to the point where I wanted to end my own life was my own fault. I made those choices. I couldn't even imagine why I would have made those choices, but I did. So I had to change what I was doing, right? So if I hit my bottom, and I hit my bottom hard, and if I can hit my bottom and bring myself to a place where now I am sitting in front of you, having my coffee in my awesome CBD mug, by the way, so can you. I didn't do anything like that's out of the ordinary. I changed my choices. I went and I got help. I didn't do this by myself. I went and I got help. I got help from the right kind of people. I got help from the right kind of help. I realized just going to talk therapy wasn't going to do it for me. I tried that, didn't work, right? Not for me anyway. So I went and I got the right kind of help. And then I took the right kind of training. And I had the right idea in my mind that I was going to come up with something that was going to heal people fast, and it was going to work, and it was going to clear their triggers and change their beliefs. And I did it. So you can do whatever you want. Your life is a canvas, and you get to paint on it. You get to decide where everything is going to be. But you need to think about your life that way, and not think about the paint just showing up there, letting other people paint on your canvas, right? Or choosing all the wrong colors. People don't like, that's right, Jasmine, like people just don't get it. You know, we even love people the wrong way. I feel like I'm on a soapbox this morning, but we even love people the wrong way. We say, you know, if I pick that person, that guy or that woman or whoever, the partner, they're going to make me happy. Oh, that person's going to make me so happy. Really? That's an awful lot of power to give to someone. You need to be happy within yourself, because that person can make you happy a little bit today, a lot tomorrow, not at all the next day. They could leave. They can hurt you. That's an awful lot of power to give to another person, your happiness. Your happiness has to come from within you, and you share that happiness. And their happiness comes from within them, and they share that with you. That's how you're happy, right? You don't put the responsibility of your happiness on someone else. You don't put the responsibility of you feeling loved on someone else. You don't put the responsibility of being validated on someone else. That all has to come from you. You need to validate yourself. You need to appreciate yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to respect yourself, and you need to be happy. That is here. Everything we need is in this body. It's like when we're taking CBD, right? It's not the CBD that's doing the work. Our body has the ability to heal itself. The CBD is the help. It's the therapist, right? It gets that body doing what it's supposed to do. All right? The CBD is not the miracle. The CBD is the therapist. Think of it that way, right? So when I'm working with people and their energy and their mind, I'm working with them as I'm guiding them, I'm facilitating, I'm their therapist, so to speak, their coach, right? I'm helping them get there. And the CBD is the same thing, but you have to want it. You have to take the CBD every day. You have to come and you got to get appointments and get sessions and get that help, right? These are choices that we make. but everybody keeps putting themselves off. Why? The biggest thing I ever hear from people is, I have no money. Yeah, you do. You do. I don't buy that for a second, because unless you're like, people find money for the things that are important to them. They do. Right? Because if it's worth it to them, they'll do it. They'll do it for instant gratification. Right? Oh, I have to go buy myself something today, or I have to do something for I need to feel better. I want to go on a vacation. I want to whatever. People find it for that. Right? Everything else is important but themselves. Everything else is important than actually doing the work. Right? These are choices that we make. These are choices that we make. We are important, we have value, or we don't. And if you don't have value for yourself, then how is anybody else going to value you? If you're not worth it to you, how is anyone else going to find worth in you? Right? We create our reality. If you have low self-esteem and you don't feel like you're worth it, what do you think that you're telling the universe? What's the message that you're sending out? What is the energy that you're putting out there? Right? That is the wrong thing. The energy you want to put out there is that I'm worth it. I'm all that in a bag of chips. I am awesome. And you want to know me. Right? Because I'm great. That's what you want to put out there. Right? But you need to feel that inside yourself. I get up every morning, and when I look in my mirror every morning, I'm like, it doesn't even matter if I forgot to take off my makeup the night before, because I do forget. I'm not gonna lie. And my hair's kind of standing up or whatever. And I'll look at myself and I'll be like, yeah, you're hot. And I mean it. And I laugh, and it's just like, because that's how I feel. Right? Somebody will walk up and say, you're very beautiful. And I'll be like, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that, because it's a beautiful compliment to hear. But in my mind, I'm like, I know, right? It's not about, I think I'm like a Vogue model or something. It's more like, I know that I'm a beautiful person. Okay? I didn't always think that way. I did not always think that way. But I do now. And when people say, you're the best coach ever, like, you have done so much work for me. You've helped me so much. You're awesome. I say, thank you. In my mind, I'm like, I know. Because I know who I am. I know the work that I've put into it. I know what I do has value. I know that. I don't say it to everybody like that, but I know it inside my heart. I know it's true. One day I had a client that came to come and see me and said to me, it was like their second or third visit, I can't even remember, but she came in, and the very first thing she said to me was, you know what? You're a fraud. That's what she said to me. And I kind of sat there, and that would really throw some people off, especially doing my kind of work. That might be like, oh, how could she say that to me, right? So I was just like, okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Have you done any of the homework I asked you to do? She said no. Have you done anything I've asked you to do? She said no. Do you believe that you can be well? She said no. I said, so there is a fraud in this room. But is it me? Right? I'm going to give you 2 weeks. I want my money back. All right, I'm going to give you 2 weeks before I give it to you back. And I'm going to say this to you. Think about what you said. Think about what you want, and think about what you've put into it. If in 2 weeks you decide that you want your money back, I will give it to you. If in 2 weeks you decide that you want to come back, we're not even going to talk about this conversation ever again. We're just going to move on and just get you well. She showed up a week later, back in sessions, and she's doing great. It's not me that waves the magic wand. I'm holding the map, right? You are doing the work. You have all the power, right? But because I know that I'm not a fraud, I know that about myself, then you can say whatever you want. You know, I've had this conversation with friends and stuff. You know, don't say that, I'm sensitive. Don't say this, I'm sensitive. You know, don't do that. Don't do this. You know, you're in a relationship. I don't like it when you do that. It hurts my feelings because something happened to me a long time ago. Hey, not anyone else's problem. You need to deal with your stuff. People do not need to walk around eggshells on you because, you know, you went through something. You need to deal with your things. It's your life, right? You need to deal with it, put it in the past. Life is too short to be holding on to this shit, right? And deal with it and let it go. Move on, enjoy the rest of your life the way that it should be. At the front of the boat, right? Anyways, that is my morning coffee this morning. A little bit longer than I wanted to talk about. My coffee's cold now. And anyways, have a fantastic day today. Guys, love yourselves. Will you please? All right? Love yourselves. See the worth in who you are. You did not get this far in this life because of all the things that you are not. You got this far in your life because all of the things that you are. Recognize those things. You're ingenious. You're strong. You're courageous. You got this far. Even if you experienced a ton of bad shit in your life, even if that's the case, but you're not dead. You still made it through. How did you do that? You did that because you have some positive resources in you. Focus on those. A little less on what you think you're not. Okay, we're not all good at everything, and we don't need to be. That's not a rule, okay? That's not a thing. You're good at what you need to be good at, all right? So focus on your good stuff today. Be grateful that it's almost spring. It's a great day, and you're alive, and you're feeling great about who you are. It's time to feel great about who you are. Look at that person in the mirror and love them. Because we're all, you know, I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little religious here, but it's true. We're all a child of God. God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, that higher power. We came from a place of love. We did not come from a place of hate. That's a choice that we make. It's a choice. So don't hate yourself anymore. It's just, it takes too much energy to hate yourself. It takes way less energy to love yourself. It's like when you're angry, it feels so bad, right? It feels so bad to feel bad. It takes so much energy from you. It drains you. But to feel good, that just comes natural. There's no energy drainage there at all. That just charges you up. So make a choice today. Make a choice for yourself today. All right? So I will talk to you guys again very soon. I think I'm liking this morning coffee thing, so I might do that. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember to tell yourself how awesome you are and to love yourself and to know that you are so worth it. You are so worth it. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.